So I can't believe it. It's been about 10 years. Not that I've done it every year or repeatedly, but 10 years ago I came to speaking circles. I was up against it. I was getting more attention with my artwork, environmental artwork, as a photographer in the world, photographing people and trees for environmental causes. And I all of a sudden had this amazing opportunity. ABC TV News called me up and wanted to interview me on site. This is again about 10 years ago, after I'd been making these photographs for about 2 years. And they wanted to interview me. They wanted to point a camera my way in an oak grove in Berkeley and ask me why I was doing the work, and most natural thing. And I was freaking terrified. And that's because for, God, I would say all my adult life, longer than all my adult life, I was terrified of public speaking. Even doing this would be inconceivable. I mean, I could stand here, but my voice would quaver, and then I would hear it shake, and then then the negative feedback loop, spiraling down to the abyss. Right? I couldn't breathe, and I was trying to go fast, and they're like, no, and then I want to run away, and then my head shakes, and the vibration. Anyone know that? Anyone know that? And, that happened. It didn't even start in my childhood. I didn't get it from my parents or the dinner table or something. For me, it was grade school experiences where I was asked to do an oral report, which was, or it didn't go well, or, I mean, I can do, there's like 3 or 4 or 5 specific, I could call them experiences, but really they were traumas. And those went in so deep, and at such an early formative age in school, when I cared what people thought, and I think it's natural for kids to care how they fit into the social order. And that made it impossible for me for my entire adult life. And I avoided public speaking. And then here was this opportunity. If I wanted to be an artist in the world, and a successful one, a TV station wanted to interview me, so I had to do it. So, it's immovable object meets irresistible force, if that's the expression. And I had heard about these speaking circles probably 2 or 3 times from different sources in my life. And I sought him out, and I think I had one session before that interview. And it wasn't like all my fears were gone, hardly. I mean, I can still get afraid, but I had a few tools from that session which made it totally possible to do. And then the experience itself was a positive one. So now I was just beginning, this is 10 years ago, to regroove, so that instead of, a public speaking opportunity is a place where I'm going to be traumatized and terrorized and have another experience that I would remember for the next 30 years, bad. I had a really positive experience. And I, got to see myself on camera. And I'm like, hey, I like the way that came out. I did okay. Or I'm not speaking too slowly, or I'm not speaking too quickly, or, all that stuff. I just got to see a positive example. And that was just the first time. And then, of course, I was hooked. And I went back to speaking circles again and again. And I learned a few basic tools which helped me out. I can cut right to the base of it. It's not about speaking. It's about being seen. So when I first came to a circle, to my amazement, I was told asked to, I was never told, I was asked to do 2 things in your first group. Stand in front of the room, and there's not a small group like this, but I think it was 8 people plus Lee, so 9 people looking intently at me. And Jack, we want you to do 2 things. One is, don't go up here or down there, or better yet, he didn't say don't. Again, it's an invitation, just find a pair of eyes and speak to one person. Always be with one person. Don't go down here. Don't go in and hide and think about what I want to say, and then open up and quickly say it really quickly before I lose my breath. God, oh my God, no. Just find one pair of eyes. And then the second thing you do in a first speaking circle is guess what? Speak, most people say. Nope, you don't need to speak at a speaking circle. Can you guess what it is? It's breathe. Breathe. So a speaking circle where you learn to public speak, whatever that means, is looking at somebody, allowing them to look at you, and breathe. And not just experientially, but also intellectually. I got it. Like, oh my God, it's just about you're okay. You can stand in front of people, and it's not a bad experience, and they won't judge you because we're all in this together. In fact, people in the audiences I've learned actually want to be comfortable. They want the speaker to be comfortable. They're actually on your side in most every case. So as a result of on and off 10 years of being around speaking circles and practicing in them, I've gone from someone who would avoid any opportunity to be seen in front of more than 2 people, which for me was a group. 3 or 30 or 400 was all the same, all terror. to now I seek out every opportunity to speak in public, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And interesting, it's not like I don't have any nervousness about it, but I know how to handle the nervousness, and I know the nervousness is just energy. So if I go slower, I can handle any situation. And the deepest thing I can say in a sentence is it's the gift and the journey of self-acceptance or self-love. So instead of judging myself for not being good enough, seeing, with every speaking circle you get a videotape, and I remember the first time I did it 10 years ago, like when you're a little kid, I remember hearing my voice, the sound of my own voice, and that doesn't sound like me. But then you hear it 20, 30 times, and now that's your voice. So I found it's the same thing with video. You get to see this, how you look on video or film. And you may not like it at first. It's certainly not what you think you look like. Look at it, 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 and look at it again. And you get to like that person. So the gift of learning to like yourself more, or accept yourself, or, God forbid, love yourself. Has that impacted my life? Yeah.